Texas Sportsnet Lakers brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee alongside Derek Fisher and James Worthy. Mike Trudell double duty tonight, called the game for Stu. We hope Stu's feeling better. Mike will be in the locker room. Lakers lose in Boston by 19. It was all Celtics from the opening tip, guys. It was just one of those nights where it just felt like you were climbing uphill. And the Boston Celtics had an answer for everything. Even that little surge that the Lakers had in the third quarter was answered by a run. And the Celtics hit an incredible 24 three-pointers. That's a season high for them. It's also a franchise record against the Lakers for the Boston Celtics. Always hate to lose to Boston, of course, but they're on to Philly on Sunday night. But just a tough one all around. Big game, shorthanded as well. Yeah, Boston definitely got the best of the back-to-back night. I'm not sure it was because of their starters. They had a big blowout game last night, so their starters didn't have to play as many minutes. We were without Luka and LeBron, Marcus Smart. You don't make any excuses, but Boston jumped on them quickly. We knew they were a really good three-point shooting team, and when you hit, 24 of them, you 24. Said? That makes for a long night. Lakers only had 8 fast break points. There's a lot of things that happened. Only 14 assists, so the ball wasn't moving. Just didn't have their game on tonight, and Boston just hit a lot of threes, which makes for a tough night.
Yeah, that's the one thing about playing on the road. Like, regardless of opponent in this league, your defense has to travel in order to just really give you a chance to hang in. And you could just see tonight the Lakers couldn't or didn't have the energy and the ability to disrupt what Boston wanted to do offensively. They looked really comfortable taking and making shots. And so when your defense can't create turnovers on the road and you can get some easy ones, to James's point, only 8 fast break points, it's hard to outshoot the home team. And when you get into a shootout, home team most likely will win. And Lakers hit 14 threes themselves, but allowed the Celtics to hit 24. Yeah, more on the threes. The Lakers actually were 40% from three and hit 14 of them. You'll take that any night, but shooting 45 threes and hitting 53% of them is just something you don't see every single night. The Lakers were minus 30 from three. It's the third most the Lakers have ever had against them as well. So it just kept piling. 8 different guys, James, hit threes, including the bench, who had 9 of those 24 threes. So they were just getting it from everywhere. Yeah, when you permit that, when you are used to that, and that is the team concept. You have several guys who are not afraid to knock it down. They're very comfortable with it. They do a pretty good job of spacing the floor, especially when you got a guy like Brown who can break down the defense. And their execution is very well on offense. Always has been for the last few years. So I give Boston a lot of credit. They're solid and they execute well and defended well tonight. But the Lakers were just a step behind. Yeah, and part of the Lakers' success, really is significantly impacted by Luka's ability to put pressure on the defense. Obviously, LeBron's games that he's played, the Lakers are 5-1. It's also the pressure that he puts on defenses. But tonight it was just more about energy and lack of ability to be disruptive on the defensive end. Just wasn't going to be able to get it done.
Go ahead.
And why you want to schedule the Lakers and Celtics on a back-to-back? Come on, that's a big game.
Make it a national.
I know everybody does it, but
yeah, it's just not great. That's what
that was a tough
Coach
game.
Kerr and a lot of the other coaches have been talking about for years. Sometimes we got to make some better decisions there. Let's talk a little Jaylen Brown, because I agree with you, big game. He set the tone, man, with 30. He's having a great year. Obviously a finals MVP. No Jason Tatum. Everyone thought, Mike Trudell talked about this with Billy during the game. Maybe they'll punt this year. Maybe they'll take a gap year. But the Celtics are fighting. They're 5th best in the East. They got one of the best offenses, as we saw tonight. And Jaylen Brown, 10 of 22, and he got hot in the third big game.
Yeah,
hot in the third. Wouldn't let the Lakers get close.
No Tatum. Brown steps up. If it wasn't Brown, it may have been White. It's like us. No Luka. Austin Reeves steps up. Next man up. You talk about the MVP guy, in Brown, and he's somewhat of an assassin, Geeter. He goes at you hard, and he gets to the cup. I think he opened up the second half, I think he had like 3 threes in a row. So he was very active early in leading his team on both ends.
And a lot of the conversation around the Celtics is, you know, for a few years, there were question marks around whether Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were really a great fit.
Were they a combo, a great combo?
Yeah, they both were all-star caliber players, but could the team win a championship with those two guys? Jaylen Brown is more comfortable even without Jason Tatum because that's naturally who he is, what we saw tonight. He's a 30-point per night guy that sacrifices to win a lot of games when Jason Tatum is in the lineup. But he is capable of exactly what we saw tonight on an every night basis over the course of 82 games.
All right, let's talk a little Lakers. Austin Reeves, guys, 36 points, 9 of 18. It was tough for him tonight as they hounded him, and a very physical night as well, but he got to the line 17 times. And honestly, guys, like watching him, even in a tough night like this, it just doesn't matter what team he goes up against. Now, James, he is that guy that can get you 30 on any given night, even when it's a night like tonight.
An off night.
Yeah, when things aren't going. Yeah.
You know, on an off night, I'd like to get like 12,
still
maybe.
50%,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Gita, he's tough as nails. Tonight they were able to focus on Austin quite a bit. We didn't have as many options, but still, he's able to get to the line 17 times. That's, I mean, people don't look at his free throws a lot, but boy, he's one of the best at drawing fouls and getting to the line and creating opportunities for himself and his teammates. Historically,
If you do the research, whatever sports reference, best scorers in the history of the game have always been able to manipulate and get foul calls and get to the free throw line at the double-digit numbers. Used to be around 10, 11, maybe, were your high-number guys across the league, your all-stars, your all-NBA guys. Austin Reeves is getting to the free throw line at that rate, and that's what's allowing him to score so many points night in and night out. It's not just 6 or 7, 8 threes a night. It's 10, 12, 14 free throws plus 8 or 9 made shots, and he's doing it at an efficient level.
Yeah, bottom line, none of us like losing, and you don't take home silver linings, but you also, as a coach, you know this too, Fish, and of course you, Big Game. Sometimes you got to look at positive and find things. And once I settled into that game and said, okay, it's going to be a long night, I mean, watching you watch that game with me, like we just couldn't believe what was going on. They were hitting threes from absolutely everywhere. It was nice to see a guy like Thero get extended minutes. Nick Smith produce a little bit. And then a guy like Gabe Vincent. He got the volume tonight. He had 18 points.
That's what the season is for. You know, the regular season, coaches and teammates are observing and watching all the little details and the small things that it's going to take in order to put a long season together of success. You know, who can be trusted in certain situations. Coaches are watching certain matchups. How did Gabe Vincent guard Derek White tonight? Right? How did Thero cover Jaylen Brown in the 8 or 9 times that they were matched up? Can that be a guy if these two teams met in the finals? Can Thero guard Jaylen Brown to finish a quarter for 2 minutes while somebody else is in foul trouble? So all of these plays matter, and that's what you try to tell young guys. It matters whether you're up or down 30. Every possession goes on film. It's like something on your resume that you can't take off.
That's why you just don't punt and take your guys out and never put them back in, right? You're down 29, James, in the first half. You could just mail that in and say, let's get ready for Philadelphia. But you got to see guys play. They made a little run in the third quarter to get to 15, had to look at a 3 to get it to 12. That's what this game is about. You're going to get a beatdown on occasion, but how do you respond and how do you fight? Do you compete when you know you're up against it?
Yeah, it's how you react, you know, and how you finish the game. You know, you're down 25. You know, there's going to be other games where you're down 15, 20 points. And, you know, it's good to see if you can chip away and maybe process something to get you back in the game. Lakers got it to 19.
Yeah, 15.
Okay,
yeah.
15. So that's pretty good. And as far as, you know, coaches are always looking for something, especially for guys who don't get to play that often. You do want to see if they've been paying attention, if they follow instructions well, if they're able to, you know, execute. Those are valuable times that a lot of players don't get in real-time situations. So even though it was somewhat of a blowout, like Fish said, there are always little details that coaches are looking for to see if they can use you in the future.
For sure. I mean, think about the Dodgers, for example.
Yeah.
Right? World Series champions. Throughout the course of that 161 games, 162 maybe, Dave Roberts.
There were some struggling times.
Yeah, but you're looking. He's looking at who can I trust to get
Yes.
an out in the 8th inning of a big game?